Finals of the weekly 9-ball tournament. We only had 12 players today, and it pays out just a first and second. And we have our two finalists here, Keegan Badour and Joe Miedema. All right, and this will be a race to 4. I was watching Joe play earlier, and he is playing pretty well. He looks like a kind of a natural player, natural shooter. Doesn't take a lot of time on his shots. He gets kind of range position, and it doesn't really get worried if he's a little bit off in his shape. I think that qualifies as like a rhythm player. So we'll see how that stacks up against Keegan's kind of fundamentals. Yep. Which one? This one? Oh, okay. I see. Oh, yeah, that's cool. All right, so all the way around the table, and it looks like there's a shot on the 1 into the 3, and just have to kind of land okay. And again, a little bit quick there, but there is a shot on the 1. Let's see how that works out. And no problem. So basically everything's opened up now, and I think if he follows it forward, just make sure you don't get behind the 6. And so, well, played it a little bit more conservative. I think you have to not draw it into the side pocket, and so maybe he's gonna follow it forward. I don't know. Yeah, so that shot right there shows that Joe has a pretty good touch. And if he makes this one and gets shaped, then all right. Yeah, so he's a very natural shooter, and so he's not really worried about having kind of off shape here. So he's like happy with that. So he'll do something like just go up and down the table, or even maybe draw it out 2 rails. We'll see. And he got fine. Yeah, so this is fine. Just has to. I think he feels a little uncomfortable about that, but it looks like it cuts. So he needs to be a little bit careful. This is trying to spin it in a little bit, thin with spin. Yeah, I don't actually see what he's worrying about here. Okay, now he's going for the bank instead. And so that shows some discipline there to kind of contain the cue ball. So if this is almost straight, then it shouldn't really be a problem for Keegan. I mean, he is close to the rail, but he's used to these kind of shots. All right, and made that look easy. All right, so Keegan's on the board. All right, 1-0. Keegan to break. So, as well as Joe shoots the ball, in his second to last shot, where he did land up on the rail there, probably could have found a way to give himself something better. A little bit unlucky to actually snuggle up against the rail, but I don't think he's going to change anything, right? He's going to just go with what works for him, and it's been working for him all tournament. So I'll expect him to play the same way and probably get out in that situation next time. So, all right, so Keegan has a cut shot and maybe go back and forth, but you don't want to go past the middle of the table, or if you do go past the middle of the table after the second rail, you'll want to come off the third rail back to kind of about the latitude that he's on now. It turned out fairly good. He could just come off this bottom rail and just maintain a straight line, or let it drift a bit forward with the angle and come out after the or behind this 5-ball. See which one he chooses. So he could play forward and get the 4 in the side, or just draw it off this bottom rail and do the 4 up table. So there you go. I think from here, yeah, he might want to bring it all the way back to the first diamond on this long rail. It's a little bit of stun though, because it's fairly straight. A little bit of stun to let yourself create an angle. But he is hampered a bit over the 9, so let's see what he does. So okay, so he didn't get to the rail, but he does have a shot on the 5, and I think he's going to want to come 3 rails and out for the 6. It's possible that he'll use some inside, but there's no reason to flirt with that 8-ball. Oh, that seems like a miscue, but he didn't really leave much. Joe might try to spin this in. I'm not really too familiar with his shot selections. Yeah, he did try to spin that in. Okay, so it's going to be 2-0 in just a moment. Pull it back a couple feet, or you could miscue again and go off the table and sell out. That was the other choice. There's usually 2 options for every shot. Keegan chose the second option. So it's one of those natural shots here. Playing a little bit loose, but he likes it. All right, so 1-1. Now earlier I said that there's no doubt that it's going to be 2-0, but commentator's curse again, right? Got a tie ball game. I guess this does qualify as a ball game. Done. We are streaming on all cylinders tonight on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. That is until the algorithms detect the music. I do have a bit of a cold today. Apologize for the coughing. Alright, so that's a pretty good break. He's got... He's pull it back into that 5 ball, yeah? And can't really tell. Is he gonna just come forward? Just come up a little bit. He went out, over and out, and then I think he can see the 3. He can see the 3. Just kind of stop it there. I don't think there's any reason to try to move it too much. All right, that was pretty nice, just to get it away from the rail, and it looks like an angle to pull it out toward the right for the 5. And just come back and forth. Yeah, he did that really well. So here it's just going to be 1 rail for the 8, but it doesn't matter if he goes. He could go 2 rails and be fine as well. So okay, he dogged that ball. Looks like Keegan can see it, and he can just kind of come off the rail and just float out about 6 inches. Or he might go around to get better shape. I don't know. All right, so if he's got an angle, he's fine. Otherwise, I'm not really sure. So he had an angle straight into the side pocket. Does that count as an angle if it's a straight angle? My geometry is lacking. So I know that Keegan saw that it was straight, but you can manipulate. You can manufacture an angle if you cheat the pocket. Although it's a little bit hard to do that into the side because you have a kind of more narrow opening from where it lay. So what you could do is use a little bit of English to kind of form an angle, but that did not work out that time. Two to 1. In favor of Joe Miedema. Believe it's pronounced Miedema. All right, so I think Keegan could loosen up a little bit. Just kind of trust his shot making because you don't want to get tight and be too robotic. I mean, we're talking about an open table. You know how to make all the shots, so if you just loosen up a bit and kind of, get range position, work through it, right? If you're a good enough shooter, you can work through it. So I'd say that maybe he wants to consider that. This is really weird, though. Yeah, it's really weird. He's gonna have to cut this in the side. Which doesn't look too hard. The problem is that you're not going to really manipulate the cue too much, so I think maybe he's going to have to drift past the 5 ball, and maybe play it, long into the bottom right corner. It's not what you could all call ideal, but I think you want to focus on making the ball and kind of take what you get. So might even run into the ball, but let's see. Okay, so I feel like I understand why he did that, try to get around, but the problem is that he just tough to put enough on that ball, and be accurate on your shot. So, but again, it's just better than missing the ball. So he kind of did the right thing and took what he got. He's gonna do like a two-way shot, perhaps. So actually, no, he just did the straight-up safe. So we'll see how Joe Miedema responds to this. Does he just fire at it, or does he? He's gonna fire at it. Now, maybe he knows something. Maybe he knows that the balls will separate. And it's not. Well, okay. It could be worse. I mean, Keegan, I think, would go 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4 rails off of this. Maybe if he does not hit the 9. Yeah, so it was either 3 or 4 rails, and just missed that 4th rail. So now he just needs to be careful on this shot, right? Just not to miscue or let that cue ball get or lose control of the cue ball. So just kind of stop the shot. All right, he was able to do fairly well. I think shape is maybe a little bit harder here, although no, he'll just draw it back past the side pocket on the right. So maybe coming to that 3rd diamond on the right. I think that's really his. I think that's what he's going to do. If you try to go around like 4 rails, it's a little bit tougher. All right, so yeah, he did pretty well. All right, 2-2. So it's a pretty good match so far. You saw a few errors by each player, but it's the spice of life. So the payouts tonight are $40 for second. We're just paying out the 2 places. Won $120 for first, so there's a premium for first place tonight. That 9-ball looked like it was tracking for the corner before it got hit. Just interesting because I've seen that a lot. That that kind of break tends to allow the back ball to kick off the rail and come in contact with the 9 just off center, which tends to throw that 9-ball down table in the direction of one of the corner pockets. So, not saying it happens all the time, but it happens a lot. So if you're using a template rack and you're trying to make the 9-ball, You can kind of go straight into the one from near center, like maybe a ball off of center, and just give it force and give the 9-ball a chance to get kicked into the top corner pockets. So the shot here is not super easy, but it's a lot easier than the shape. So in order to get shape on this 6, you're going to want to maybe put a little bit of check spin on it, but not too much. Or maybe just a little bit of top, I don't know. And then ideally, let's kind of go near where that 8 is. Yeah, that was always going to be tough to just line up for the 6. So there might be a safety here. I think he's looking at sending the 6 toward the bottom rail middle and just leaving the cue ball kind of on the opposite end. Yes, that's a very, very good effort, and he did his job there. So Joe, I think, well, Joe's style is to go for stuff. And if let's say he were to bank this in and able to get on the right rail, he might be good. So he elected to play a separating shot. I think Keegan is going to go for this one. He is up against the rail, so it's going to be a little hard to shoot this. Normally you want to be able to hit the center of the ball for these kind of long shots, and if you're only able to get the top part of the ball, it's just going to feel different. Yeah, that was just really hard to kind of guarantee success there. So, all right, now with Joe's kind of flow, I'm very interested to see how he handles the shape. He might come out way back to where he is right now, thinking that he can work with an angle, but he's just going to clear himself of that 8. And well, I want to say that was brilliant. Okay, that kind of looks like it cuts to me, but maybe not. I mean, that that whole thing was inexplicable, but it was also utterly fantastic. So it's kind of like watching a sci-fi thriller movie. Okay, so Joe's up 3-2. Yeah, I think Joe is loving this. He doesn't apologize for any of that. That is definitely legit 9-ball, and I mean, we're not playing 10-ball here, so you could play 9-ball like you're in a rodeo, and it's all good. So some people will complain, but don't play 9-ball if you don't, if you can't handle that. So, and another thing is that since you know that you can get fortunate in these cases, then I mean, if you know that that's there, then why not allow it? Why not play in a way that allows it to happen?
There you go. Oh boy, yeah. But do you have any more sour pitches or no? You're out of candy.
Well, we got those there, but those are not sour. Marco's had a whole cup of it. I don't know. Well, I think he's still eating them. Yeah, go over there. The blue ones. He's got a big cup. Yeah.
Wait, what flavor are these?
These a watermelon.
Wait, where'd you get all these cactus
From 7-Eleven.
Oh, you just bought a bunch or what?
Yeah, like 2 bags of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Because, I think everyone needs some candy. I'm going to keep bringing them here until they tell me don't bring them anymore. But if I'm over here, no one
I doubt
bothers
they
me.
are.
All right, yeah, here, no, take the whole thing over there. For everybody else.
Wasn't Keegan eating?
No. We're done. We're done with them. Yep. I took a little intermission there. But I'm back. And I see that there's a 2-rail shape for the 3, and the 5's available, and the 6 is available. So, I think he would have liked it if it had gone a little bit farther down the rail. So he might try to bump the 5, just nudge the 5. So make the ball a little bit of left spin, just nudge the 5. You don't want to knock it away from the pocket, just nudge it. There you go. And then from here, you could just come out maybe, 3 rails and softly to get almost like parallel to this 6 in the middle of the table. Or just leave it over on near the side rail for, I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. Because, you know what, I think that, honestly, I don't think he was trying to just go back and forth. But it's weird that it did. Huh. Okay. Yeah, so he pulled the trigger really fast, so it's almost like he did what I was saying earlier and just kind of let your instincts take over. But that was not the time, because that shot required a little bit of finesse. In other words, range position doesn't work on that shot. I think that Keegan's a little bit thrown off by Joe's style of play, but you can't let those things affect you. You gotta, you just, if you're a good shooter and you have strong fundamentals and you're know how to play safe and you know how to make shots, and you have all the tools you need to beat any kind of player. So you never want to let who you're playing affect you and cause your game to, to not work for you. So I'm not saying that that's what it is, but it could be. In a way, a commentator is overanalyzing because there's nothing else to do. But so there may not be like a really strong explanation for what we're seeing, but it's kind of fun to theorize and to look for some kind of explanations for things. So, all right, Joe's gonna come out with that jump cue. If you can just catch the left side of that, which I think shouldn't be too tough. You're going over half a ball, maybe less than half a ball. Yeah, alrighty. So. I think he was trying to avoid hitting it too thick and ended up going way out to the edge. But on a jump shot, you're gonna end up hitting it like that. I think you're gonna end up hitting it thinner, so maybe aim for thicker, because chances are that you're not gonna hit the center of the ball, which means that you're hitting above the ball, and that's going to affect the angle that you it's going to affect the angle of the contact. So I think in that case you could aim a little bit thicker because you're going to get that bounce, and that would act like a thinner shot. So, or it could have been that the bounce took it off, or the bounce took it caused it to miss. Anyway, all right, so we are hill. Player one score 3-3. All right, if Keegan wins this game, he wins the match. He wins the tournament. If Keegan loses this game, if Joe wins this game, there will be a round 2 in a race to 2. All right, so good luck to both players. Hill is something we like to see here. Makes it exciting. Put in your bets. You see that 9-ball went on a move again, right? So it's almost typical if you break from that area. Just get. All right, so we saw a pretty successful safety. I did a little replay there to see where he broke from, but yeah, so he did a little mini safety shot, but it was very successful. So Keegan will have to kick at this, and he certainly does not want to give up ball in hand with this layout. So he's trying to make it, because if you don't make it, then there are many pockets available. Okay. This happened to me when I was playing against Joe. I was going for a kick shot in the final game, and I just missed the whole ball. It was very strange. I'm very, very good at my kick shot angles, and I don't know what happened. It didn't really make sense, but it could have been that I just wasn't focusing enough, and suspect that was the same for Keegan. And as I say that, it looks like Joe was not focusing enough. So that's the thing, is that if you are a rhythm player, sometimes you're gonna make kind of a silly mistake like that. And I just wonder if it would have been worth slowing down for the last 3 balls, But again, it just looked like it's so easy that why would you slow down? Just make the ball roll for shape. But again, if you change up your style, then you could introduce more errors of different kinds. So it's probably why he, well, doesn't do that. Oh, okay, but it looks like well, except for a commentator's curse situation, this should be in the bag. And I mean, there's really no work to do here. I think you just sun it to the left a little bit, all come off the rail or whatever. It was really no problem. All right. All right, so, well, that's very strange. Okay, so it is all over. Well, 4-3 Keegan. That is the end of the match, end of the tournament, and there's a gift. Well, all right, guys, we're just gonna call it a night. Thank you for watching, and we will be back another day when I'm less sick and less tired. Adios. Buenas noches. Feliz Navidad y Prospero Año. I know I'm a little early for that, but I'm practicing my Spanish. Okay? All right. Good night.